Hey guys, what is up? Mike Lock here. Thanks so much for tuning in to this video blog. In this video, I want to talk about the career of a web designer and give you some inspiration, some information on what I think about when I look at a web designer's career and what the potentials are, what you can look forward to, as a web designer, and just why web design is such a great job. I think it's I think the best field that you can get into in terms of a career. And so I want to talk about sort of like the web designer's career, the web designer's journey, excuse me, and kind of give you some inspiration and things to look forward to, because I get a lot of emails from people, asking me various questions like, Mike, can I make money in web design? Seriously, how much can I make? Should I get into web design? I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure. Can I support a family as a web designer? I've been trying this for several years and it's not working for me. So many different things, right? So I want to talk about why web design is the best career, what to look forward to as a web designer, and how to plan out your future as a web designer. In my opinion, you can just take it as information and just kind of take some nuggets here and there from it. But here's how it goes. As a web designer, when you first learn basic skills and you become a web designer, let's assume you have the basic skills, graphic design skills, HTML, CSS, you start to grow, and this will allow you to do freelance work. Okay, you can do mom and pop shop websites, websites for small amounts of money, and kind of get your feet wet in the web design game. Okay, this will allow you to make what I call supplemental income. It's really small amounts of money. Okay, when you're first starting out, you can't make a lot of money in web design because you don't have the skill set and you don't have the clientele, and you can't perform that much work to make that much money. For example, I just recently produced a podcast that talked about the required skills of a web designer, and I broke it down from freelance design, the corporate web design, and things like that, and on to web development. And I talked about in freelance, the potential earning income is around $500 to $50,000 a year. Okay, $50,000 is on the high end. I made that around 2006. At my highest point, I had 3 strong paying clients that I would do work for. And that's where I kind of maxed out in terms of, throughout my 15-year career, that's around the time that I've maxed out in terms of how much I made from a freelance standpoint, not my full-time job standpoint. Okay, and if anyone knows, if you're living in California, Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, anywhere in high metropolitan areas, you can't support a family really living off of $50,000. Okay, you can't support a family. So that's why web design or freelance design is great. It's a great start, but I wouldn't tell web designers to just go in it and go to freelance route full-fledged. I'm always a big proponent of learning some skills, doing some freelance work, but building up your portfolio to land a UI design job. Okay, you want to land a UI design job, and this is where the journey sort of starts to take shape. So as you get those skills and you do some little freelance work and you kind of build up your portfolio, you want to reach out, you want to put all your effort into landing a full-time job. And the reason why you want to land a full-time job is because the resources and the connections that you're going to make in that full-time job is invaluable. That will kind of help you out for the rest of your career. Okay, so I don't say land a full-time job and work a 9-to-5 job until you're 65 and you retire and don't think about the entrepreneurship. Believe me, it'll get better as I go through the journey. But you want to land that full-time job because you want to take advantage of the resources that they're going to give you. They're going to give you so many resources. They'll give you a computer. They'll give you, access to the Adobe product suite. You're going to be learning from different designers there. You're going to be learning, with product managers and different directors, and learning how a product actually gets built and learning that whole entire process. In addition, you're going to be making tons and tons of connections. Okay, right now, I've been doing design for 15 years. I have so many different connections, people that I've met that work for so many different companies. Just about 6 months ago, there's a VP that works for Twitter, pretty much handed me a role, a UX design role, leadership role, or a lead role for Twitter. But I didn't want to move to San Francisco, so I turned it down. But this was a guy I know really well, Adam Bain, and he worked with me at Fox. And he was the VP, or he was actually our president at Fox. And we made a strong connection there. And I have people I know people in different places, Yahoo, great startups, companies around the world. I mean, it's amazing how many things that comes about through those connections. So getting a full-time job is great for many aspects. And the other part is this: in the full-time job world, you're starting out at a really decent salary, around 45. You can make between 45 all the way up to $150,000 a year, 150 being at the director's level. But generally, if you're pretty good, you have 3 to 4 years of experience under your belt, you can make $80,000. And that's what I mean. When you're a designer, you don't want to be that artist that is broke and can't earn a living and can't support your family. You want to go out there, and the opportunities are there, so you want to go out there and get that job so that you can support your family and live comfortably as you progress throughout your web design career. So as I've gone through my career, I've been able to build my family, support my family, take vacations and all this stuff on a nice salary in the things that I do, that I make within the web design world. Now, in addition to having that full-time job, you're doing the things that you love. You're doing web design work. Okay, I don't know. And also, once you have that full-time job, you can continue to make supplemental income on the side, working part-time, doing freelance work. Okay, so you can have a nice salary and you can make really good money on the side, still doing websites for mom and pop shops after hours, after your 9-to-5 job, and on the weekends. Okay, and that can support bills, vacations, and all that stuff, car payments. That's kind of like how my sort of life worked out. Okay, so now as you get more experience, excuse me, as you get more experience throughout your career, you're going to build all these different connections, and so many ideas will be coming up, entrepreneurial ideas, and that's where the good stuff comes into play. Okay, as a web designer, you don't have to stay within your job forever and ever and ever. You can continue to move up like I have. And also, the great thing about having those connections, having that experience, you can partner with a developer and create your own product, your own company. Okay, think of Facebook. Think of the UI designer that started out designing Pinterest. Pinterest is now worth over $2 billion, and if they go IPO, that UI designer will make millions. Okay, think of the early UI designer that stuck around with Mark Zuckerberg to help him build Facebook. He's now worth millions, if not billions. Think of the UI designer that worked on Foursquare, any Twitter, any popular website startups that you see out there. There are UI designers that have a strong hand in designing that product, and they have a lot of value in that sense. Yahoo just recently purchased a company or a website, some startup from this kid, 17-year-old kid in London, in the UK, and for $30 million. Think of the UI designer that had a hand in designing that product. Okay, so as a web UI designer, you're not just stuck to that 9-to-5 job. You're not just stuck to freelance career. Take those skills and go out there and you can partner. You know how many developers right now that I know throughout my connections that I've made with all the jobs? I know dozens. So you can partner with a web developer, build a product. Over the last 5 to 10 years, there are hundreds or thousands of companies that have been bought out, purchased by Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, all these different companies. And those UI designers who had a hand in that product early on are now rich and famous and successful. Okay, then they can go out there and do their own thing. Okay, not in addition to not only working with the web developer to build a product. You gain, working in a corporate environment, you've gained some experience, and you can go out there if you want and start your own web design agency. Okay, that's your choice. But in addition to that, you can also take those same skills that you've learned and build your own product. Okay, you can start an e-commerce business. I did this a couple of years ago, but I got into web design training, so I stopped this business. But basically, I created an e-commerce website that sold sports equipment, and I was doing really well. I built it up over a couple months, and I was selling products. I was selling drop shipping sports equipment, and to this day, if I stuck around with it, it probably would have been successful. I was making money, but I wanted to get into web design training business. Again, I took the same skill sets that I've learned along the way and built a web design training product that allowed me to make extra money on top of my full-time career, and in a sense, give me an outlook on where I can go throughout my career. Okay, so as you go, if you look at the web designer's journey, you learn some skills, you do some freelance work, land that job. Okay, bust your butt every day, weekends and nights, to build up your portfolio to land that job. Okay, get your foot in the door somewhere, build some connections, and grow from there. And then from there, that's just a starting point. Just yesterday, I got an email actually from someone in my network and mentioned to me that they took my advice. He's a member of my web design training course, and he busted his butt on the weekends, built up his portfolio, and landed a job with Coca-Cola. So that's a great starting point. It's a great name to have on your resume. And that doesn't mean he has to, be stuck to a 9-to-5 job for the rest of his life. He can build from there, and opportunities will come from there. He'll build connections, and he'll continue to grow, and all these different ideas can come up. Add the things that he learns throughout that job or working that job. He's gonna make a pretty nice salary. He can move up from there. As he gains more experience, other companies will be recruiting you and reaching out to you. So it's just a starting point. But then as you grow, there's all this entrepreneurial stuff that you can do on your own with those skills, those same skills that you love and you use towards making a living. You can build your own business, partner with the web developer, do like I do, build a training course, whatever it is that you want to do. The opportunities are there. Okay, so think about the web designer's journey. Think about the outlook on all these different possibilities and things that you can do within web design, and the future should be bright, or it should be inspirational and give you some things to look forward to. And that's why I think web design is the best career, the best job in the world, the best field that you can get into, because I don't think there's a career out there that you can do the things that you love, make a good living, a full-time job, do the stuff on the side, and use those same skills to build businesses and build your own dreams, using those same skill sets. So that's my little spiel on a web designer's career or the web designer's journey. And I hope that you get inspired by it. I hope that you think about these things and look forward towards growing as a web designer or becoming a web designer if you're not already, and all the possibilities that are out there. All right, and that's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, visit my website for more information. Check out my podcast, and we'll be chatting soon. Bye.